Hey everyone, and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to totally flip the script on how you think about coding. We're talking about taking Python from something that's, well, super frustrating, to something that's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. Does that sound familiar? I bet it does. It's that voice of frustration, right? That feeling we've all had when we first try to learn programming. You're so excited to build something, but all you keep seeing are those cryptic red error messages.
So, let me introduce you to Balu. Balu heard that Python was the ticket to a high-paying job. So what did he do? He jumped right in, trying to cram and master it in just 2 days. But instead of that dream job, all he got was, well, that same frustration. It's such a common story, but listen, it really doesn't have to be your story.
So today, we're going to leave all that frustration in the dust. We're going to explore a much better, way more fun way to get started with Python. An approach that's all about curiosity and creativity, not just memorizing syntax and staring at error screens. All right, let's jump in.
Okay, first things first. Let's kind of reintroduce you to Python. I want you to forget all the intimidating code for a second. Instead, think of Python as a new language you're learning, like Spanish or French. It's a friendly guide that's just there to help you talk to computers.
And you know, this language has a pretty fun origin story. We go back to 1991. The creator, a guy named Guido van Rossum, was apparently a big fan of the British comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus. He just needed a name that was short, unique, and a little mysterious. So, he called it Python. Seriously, it was never about the snake.
And that fun, accessible vibe is really baked into Python's DNA. I mean, first off, it's completely free and open source. It's what they call a high-level language. And don't worry, we'll get to what that means in a sec. It's also portable, which is huge. It means you can write code on a Mac and it'll run on Windows or Linux, no problem. And honestly, the most important thing, it's just fun to work with.
Okay, so that term high-level language, what does it actually mean? It's way simpler than it sounds, I promise. It just means it's a way to talk to a computer using words that are closer to English. You can literally write a command like print hello, and Python, your friendly guide, does all the heavy lifting. It translates that simple command into the super complex ones and zeros the computer hardware actually understands. So you get to focus on the creative stuff, the big picture.
All right, so how do you actually start building things? Well, the good news is you don't need some huge, complicated instruction manual. You just need a simple toolkit with just a few essential building blocks.
And the most basic, fundamental tool in that kit is something called a variable. Now, forget whatever you learned in math class about variables. In programming, a variable is just a container. That's it. It's like a labeled box you use to store a piece of information that you'll need later on.
The whole idea is super simple. Look at this code. Name is equal to Harry. What you're doing there is telling the computer, hey, see this text, Harry? Put it inside a box and label that box name. That's it. Now, anytime you need that name, you don't have to type it out again. You just ask for what's in the name box.
And these boxes, these variables, can hold all kinds of stuff. You could have a box labeled A that holds a number, like 1. Or you could have another box, C, that holds some text, like cat. Oh, and a quick tip. In the programming world, a piece of text is usually called a string. Okay, now here's where it starts to get really interesting. See, we're not just putting stuff in boxes for fun. When you start combining these simple containers, you can give the computer much more complex instructions. You can actually tell it to make decisions. You could say something like, hey computer, if the number in box A is bigger than 10, then do this specific thing. And that is the very first step toward building something really, really powerful.
So let's see what this all builds up to, because this is where it gets really exciting. We're about to explore how these incredibly simple building blocks, we're just talking about containers and instructions, can be used to create some truly amazing things.
So I've got to ask you, what do you think you can really build with just a few containers and some basic instructions? I think the answer is going to surprise you.
For starters, how about building your very own voice-controlled AI assistant? Yeah, I'm talking about something like Jarvis from the Iron Man movies, an assistant that actually understands and responds when you talk to it.
I mean, just imagine saying, Jarvis, open YouTube to your computer, and it actually does it. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's something you can genuinely build with Python, using just these fundamental tools we've been talking about.
Or what about something a little more mischievous? You could build a bot that automatically replies to your WhatsApp messages for you. I mean, the possibilities here are practical, they're powerful, and honestly, they're just a lot of fun.
And yeah, of course, the whole coding journey comes with its own brand of nerdy humor. It's a community that really doesn't take itself too seriously, which honestly is part of what makes it so great.
Okay, so we've made the journey from the frustration of constant errors to the absolute fun of creation. There's really only one question left. Where do you go from here? It's time to start your own adventure.
And why does all this matter? Because getting a handle on these simple concepts unlocks a whole universe of possibilities. You could build AI assistants. You could automate all those boring daily tasks. You could create websites and APIs, analyze huge amounts of data. You could even make your own games. The path you take is completely up to you.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Learning Python isn't about memorizing a complex textbook. It's about creative problem solving with just a few simple tools. It's like someone handing you a giant box of Legos. And Balu? He forgot about getting a job in 2 days. Instead, he started building a tiny bot to automate some of his daily tasks. And you know what? He's having an absolute blast.
So let's end with this thought. The journey doesn't really start because you want to learn code. It starts because you want to build something cool. So now that you've seen the path, from that initial frustration all the way to having fun, what will you create first?